Why was there not an alert put out all throughout the hospital to say we have a shoulder dystocia so that new eyes could come in and look? You know, why weren't the proper procedures done in terms of maneuvers and the like?
We just want justice for our son. They lied to us. They ain't let us touch him. We don't like it. We just want justice for our son.
And at this time, there's no word on whether charges will be filed against anyone in light of the news of the death being a homicide. We, of course, will have more details on the case this afternoon and later in this newscast as well. If you would like to hear the full comments from the family, we have the entire news conference streaming right now on 11Alive Plus. You can watch for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. Also, a mother and her teen twins are recovering in the hospital right now after nearly 40 shots were fired into their home in DeKalb County. Now police are looking for the shooter. This was the scene on Rock Meadow Drive around midnight. A mother and her 13-year-old twin children were hit. They are expected to be okay, and at least 8 other people were in that home and were not hurt. We are still working to learn more information, and we'll have the latest for you starting on 11Alive News at 4. Happening today, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden will be here in Atlanta. She's expected to speak at the Morehouse School of Medicine's 2024 Heart Healthy Luncheon. This is happening at the Georgia Aquarium as part of the White House's Women's Health Research Initiative. The First Lady's last trip to Atlanta was back in September when she spoke at Emory University about the president's commitment to fighting cancer. All right, let's talk about our weather this afternoon. We're giving you a live look outside this afternoon at the King and Queen buildings. Get out and enjoy the weather because our sunny days are numbered. Meteorologist Melissa Nord here for us this afternoon. And Melissa, so you're saying clouds and rain will be coming back this week?
They will, Jonathan. Today's the last sunny day. Tomorrow, clouds will greet us. And I just want to give you a snapshot of what's to come Friday and into the weekend. And that's the return of some rain showers. Now, Friday will be the lowest of the rain chances out of the weekend days. You notice here as we get through the morning, a few showers to the north of town, and wait to see a few of them sneaking in towards the metro later on in the day. So we'll be talking more about that coming up in about 15 minutes. But outside right now, a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon is unfolding ahead of us. Not going to be quite as warm today as we were yesterday, but still a really nice early spring day. It's currently 49 degrees in Atlanta. Winds are calm and they'll be out of the east this afternoon, which is going to help to keep temperatures a couple degrees cooler than where we were yesterday afternoon. Up to 50 in Marietta. Rome is 53. 46 though, a little cooler out in East Georgia and Athens, and it's 49 in Duluth. So mostly sunny skies are going to continue. Beautiful afternoon as the kids are getting off the bus. We should see temperatures topping out upper 50s to right around 60 degrees today. A few clouds will start to stream in towards sunset, but we will not see those clouds thickening up until we get into the day tomorrow. So topping out about 58 in Atlanta today. A few spots to the south towards LaGrange and Thomaston may make it closer to 60 degrees. So we're right near or just above average. Notice sunshine near us, but out to the west, clouds start to build in towards that Mississippi River Valley. And then here we go. By Friday morning, showers start to move in. And then over the weekend, it's rounds of showers, on and off rain, and even some thunderstorms sort of in the mix before we're done with the rain chances. Jonathan will talk more about that and how much rain we could see in the next week coming up in about 15 minutes.
Melissa, thanks so much. Right now, a man convicted of killing his brother-in-law is still on the run 5 days after he failed to return to a transitional center in Midtown following a work assignment. Authorities sent Marvin Barkley to the minimum security facility based on a theft conviction, but did not take into account the 30-year sentence he had received for the voluntary manslaughter a short time later. We spoke to the victim's father, who said he's afraid Barkley will hurt other members of his family.
My kids won't even sleep in their room. They don't want to go to school. My kids just took my bedroom over. My wife sleeps right there, and I sit right here all night long with my gun in my hand, just waiting on him to open my door, step on my porch.
The Georgia Department of Corrections says Barkley should not have been at that transitional center. They are right now looking into what went wrong. Right now, Atlanta police need your help finding suspects accused of shooting and killing a man and then stealing his dog. The shooting happened near Mitchell Street and Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard Monday night. Now, this is the victim here, 44-year-old Samuel Harris, also known as JR. Police say he was targeted and the suspects took his dog, Tequila. If you know anything, give police a call. Norcross police this afternoon are searching for a possible suspect in a deadly shooting. They say 3 men showed up to a mechanic shop on Lively Avenue last night. There was an argument, it got physical, and police say one of those men pulled a gun and started shooting. We learned 1 man died there, and police say the victim and the suspect arrived in the same car. Again, if you know anything about this, reach out to Norcross Police. We have an update this afternoon to a story that we brought you as breaking news just about 24 hours ago. Police in Gwinnett County are trying to figure out what led to a 71-year-old woman being found dead at an assisted living home. Now, police have identified the victim now as Grace Hayden. They say her 81-year-old husband, Richard Hayden, is now facing charges. Police were called to the Linwood Estates around 10 on Tuesday morning, where they found Miss Hayden dead. Officials are not releasing exactly how the woman died. We are also right now following legislation from the state capitol that will likely affect you and your family. Guns would be cheaper to buy during some parts of the year if a bill becomes law. The bill proposes a 5-day tax holiday every October where buyers would be exempt from sales tax on gun purchases, ammunition, and other accessories. So if you're getting a new $500 gun, for example, you could save about $30 in taxes. Those against the bill say lawmakers should instead be focused on the proposed tax break for diapers, baby formula, and feminine products.
Are we really putting guns over baby formula and diapers?
I think taxes on firearms are an infringement upon our Second Amendment rights.
Well, the bill is gaining some support, but it would also give tax breaks to people who buy gun lock boxes. Democrats like Athens Representative Spencer Fry see it as a compromise that would help promote gun safety. The Senate voted to approve the bill and send it to the House for more debate. Right now, Metro Atlanta attorneys say they are struggling. A cyber attack on Fulton County systems is still causing problems. The cyber attack has impacted court cases and other legal filings. We spoke with one attorney who says he has clients in the Fulton County jail, and because of all of this, they are terrified.
That's a really frightening thing when you're talking about someone locked up in Fulton County jail, a jail that has a troubled history of working in the best of times.
Well, the jail says it's doing as much as it can right now to operate as normal manually. Officials tell us they do have a backup system, but we do know they do not have access at this point to any booking photos. We have an update as well to the work to get everything back up and running in Fulton County. Right now on 11alive.com, just search Fulton cyber attack. 2 people have now been arrested after a shooting last week at McEachern High School. We are learning what comes next to keep students safe, how your voice can be heard when we come back.
The story is only on 11Alive News. It's a wonderful feeling to be a journalist in my hometown. People that knew me when I was little are watching me, and so I want to make sure that I get stuff right. Good journalism is impactful, whether it is taking on something that needs to be changed or touching somebody. This is my city just as much as it is yours. So when I'm out, when I see people, it's, hey, how are you? It's what's going on in your world. Because even when I'm not at work, people still trust me.
Only on 11Alive News, we examined the 4 ways you and your family can identify whether a review is real or not and save you some money.
There is a lot of red flags that you should look for.
With tricks to identifying fake reviews, like simply looking at the profile name. Our investigation uncovered how major companies are now working together to make sure you never see a fake review again. When it comes to saving you money, the story is only on 11Alive News.
I've always really cared about what's happening here in Atlanta. This is home. I was born and raised right here in the city. Even as a 3rd grader, I'd watch the news and have my dad record me recapping the day's events. Now, as an 11Alive anchor, I carry that same passion to tell stories that have impact and to be active in the community. I need to know what matters most to people and even the challenges they may face. So what a privilege to be back home in Atlanta and join you every weekday with Faith Jesse right here on 11Alive News at 4.
Let's face it, the weather is always changing. We can't control it, but we can help you prepare for it.
Crazy weather can really mess up your plans, even put you at risk.
So trust our team
to give you everything you need to know when you need it most.
We care about getting the forecast right for you.
When severe weather threatens,
We have a high risk of heavy rain that could lead to flash flooding.
stay safe, informed, and in control with the 11Alive storm trackers.
The city doesn't stop when you go to sleep.
That's why we're up early. Early.
Tracking breaking news
Traffic and weather.
Preparing you before you get out of bed.
so you can start your day a step ahead.
When news is happening in the afternoon, you'll see it on 11Alive News now at 4. I'm Jonathan Martin.
And I'm Faith Jesse. We're both Atlanta natives, so we know the city like you do.
Most importantly, you'll know what to expect wherever you're headed with updates from Atlanta's traffic expert, Crash Clark.
I've got your alternates.
And get your first look at the forecast with meteorologist Melissa North.
Rain is moving into Atlanta right now.
Plus, we'll help you make smarter decisions. New this afternoon, we have learned the city of Atlanta is donating $1 million to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metro Atlanta. This is to expand safe spaces for youth, and it is all coming after 2 people were shot at McEachern High School's campus in Cobb County last week. The Boys and Girls Club says that the shooting is an example of why these safe spaces are needed. Tomorrow, the Cobb County School Board plans to host a town hall in response to the shooting. Members want to hear from parents and students about safety concerns and ways to move forward. So this all starts at 6:30. Again, that's tomorrow night at the Patricia Vaughn Cultural Arts Center. This afternoon, we have some new details about the shooting at McEachern High School. 2 students are now facing charges in connection to the shooting. A 17-year-old student is charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault. The second suspect is also a juvenile student. Cobb County police are not releasing details about their involvement or specific charges. They say the 2 people who were shot, though, are not McEachern students. They are both expected to survive. This afternoon, parents of the victims in a Michigan school shooting are reacting right now to the verdict, the guilty verdict against the convicted school's mother, the shooter's mother, I should say. A jury found Jennifer Crumbly guilty of involuntary manslaughter in the deaths of 4 students in 2021. Prosecutors say she failed to tell Oxford High School officials that her family had a gun after school staff expressed concerns about her son's mental health. Stephen St. Juliana's daughter, Hannah, died in the shooting. He says the next step is holding the school system accountable.
The school themselves don't acknowledge that they did anything wrong. Even though they didn't follow their own policies, they don't acknowledge they did anything wrong.
Ethan Crumbly pleaded guilty to shooting 11 people and killing 4 students. He was sentenced to life in prison. Senate Republicans are expected to tank a major bipartisan border deal and foreign aid package in a vote today. This is all coming after a turbulent day on Capitol Hill. Lawmakers now are trying to move forward after an impeachment vote on the Homeland Security Secretary failed. NBC's Ryan Nobles reports.
A stunning development on Capitol Hill and a day of chaos for House Republicans.
The resolution is not adopted.
Who were hoping to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Holding on to a razor-thin majority, there were a few Republican defections, but they still thought they had enough votes. That was until Democrat Al Green, recovering from surgery, made a surprise appearance, providing Democrats an extra vote, enough to kill the measure.
They may have been caught a little bit off guard.
And moments later, Speaker Mike Johnson also failing to marshal enough support for another big Republican push, an Israel military assistance bill. The GOP already vowing to bring the Mayorkas impeachment articles up for a vote again soon. A spokesperson for DHS calling on Republicans to, quote, abandon these political games and instead support the bipartisan national security agreement in the Senate. That bill, designed in part to confront the growing crisis at the southern border, is stalled. A frustrated President Biden placing the blame on Donald Trump.
He wants a political issue to run against me on.
But Republicans who begged for changes at the border now arguing this package would make the situation worse.
This does more harm than good.
The result is the best and only hope of any type of border reform is effectively dead, while the crisis at the border continues to grow with no solution in sight.
And today, the full House is expected to vote on a bill that would boost spending in the state budget by $5 billion. This is for the current budget, which runs through June 30th. With this increase in spending, $315 million would go toward bonuses to state employees and teachers. Another $1.5 billion would go toward roads. Governor Brian Kemp is proposing this boost. Now, this would push the spending of state money to $37.5 billion. Right now, there is a battle over beer brewing at the state capitol. Wholesale distributors and independent craft brewers are right now at odds. And as it stands, only wholesale distributors can sell beer to restaurants and retailers. They say a change would be detrimental to so many people, but brewers are hoping to change that so they can sell the beer themselves and cut out the middleman.
So if I want to sell to a bar in Savannah, next door to my brewery, my distributor has to pick it up, drive to Atlanta, 4 hours away, inventory it, and then drive 4 hours back to Savannah to drop it off at that bar. So it's a waste of resources for the distributor and the brewery.
There's employees in every one of your districts that work for a distributor. That's who this affects. It is directly moving money from them, and it's detrimental.
So this debate will be up for a vote in a Senate committee by the end of this month. This afternoon, we have learned the Atlanta City Council agreed to eliminate parking minimums for some new projects in neighborhoods right along the Beltline. The hope here is these areas will be more friendly to pedestrians, cyclists, and people taking public transit. There will still be requirements for restaurants, bars, and other businesses in the area. Officials are hoping this decision will bring more developers to the area, also lower the cost to build, and eventually even keep rent prices down.
And if you're trying to take advantage of some of that sunshine this afternoon, get in a nice run or a walk outside, the weather is beautiful. It's not quite as warm as it was yesterday, but blue skies across North Georgia now. We'll see just a few clouds building in by the end of the afternoon. Currently, we're in the upper 40s and low 50s, and we're going to top out upper 50s today. So a couple degrees above average, really nice sunshine. And today is the last sunny day that we're going to see in a very long time. We've got a wet pattern setting up, and that's going to kick in Friday through the start of next week with waves of showers and even a few thunderstorms thrown in the mix. So as the rain comes down, rain totals will amount to 2 to 3 inches. Some spots could even see more than that. So sunshine is out there today and it's plentiful. Tomorrow is still dry, but we bring back the clouds, and then starting Friday, it's the rain chances building in. The beginnings of the first round of rain that's pushing out from the Four Corners and towards Texas. And as we push the forecast track out into Friday, you can see some of those showers north of Atlanta. It's not a washout for our weekend, but rather there's going to be different waves or episodes of those showers and maybe even an isolated rumble of thunder that'll move through the area. One of those coming through on Sunday morning. Then you notice here early next week, more rain is in the picture. So rain chances on their way up. Dry today, still dry tomorrow. Rain chance Friday is about 30%. That's mostly going to be north of Atlanta. Then by Saturday, we go to 50%, and the wettest of the next bunch, that's going to be Sunday into Monday. Rain chances at 70%. Wouldn't even be surprised if there were some thunderstorms thrown in the mix here across North Georgia on Monday. So rain, yeah, it's going to be plentiful. We're coming off on the heels of a soggy above average January, and here we go for February. Another maybe 2 to 3 inches here coming across North Georgia. Now, because this is all not coming over one day itself, will hopefully limit the amount of flooding threats. But when you add 3 inches over a couple of days to some areas, those creeks, those streams, they're going to be running high again across the area. Sunshine, we're seeing a lot of it outside right now. It's a beautiful afternoon on your Wednesday, a little cooler than yesterday, 49 in Atlanta. We've got a couple of cooler spots out in East Georgia where it's 46 in Gainesville and Athens, currently 49 in Carrollton and 50 in Peachtree City. We'll keep the sunshine going the rest of the afternoon. Highs will be in the upper 50s. You notice here by 8 o'clock tonight, though, a couple of clouds start to build in, and that's the precursor to a much more cloudy day on the way for tomorrow. So again, blue skies today. We're still dry tomorrow, but by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon, clouds are much more dominant. So partly cloudy tomorrow morning, still seasonably cold for the bus stop. There will be mid-30s here around the suburbs, maybe a few spots in the low 30s up in the North Georgia mountains. Clouds are going to increase throughout the day tomorrow, but despite that, we might actually get a degree or two warmer than today thanks to a southeast breeze. As we head into Friday morning, clouds continue thickening up. There are those few showers starting to move in, and models have been pinpointing mainly north of Atlanta, seeing the best chance of those rain showers on Friday, and then they go up from there. Rain chances across the entire area through the weekend and next Monday. Here's your 7-day forecast. Mostly sunny, high of 58 today, upper 50s tomorrow with increasing cloud cover. Few on and off showers, especially north of Atlanta Friday. And then I think the heaviest rain we're going to see is between Sunday and Monday. Notice the temperatures in the 60s over the weekend, but next week as the rain clears out, cooler weather moving back in. Jonathan, 53 for Tuesday.
All right, Melissa, we appreciate that. A life-saving slap? Well, can slapping an elbow treat or even save someone perhaps from a heart attack? Our Verified team has the answer next.
You still trust me.
Only on 11Alive News, we examined the 4 ways you and your family can identify whether a review is real or not and save you some money.
There is a lot of red flags that you should look for.
With tricks to identifying fake reviews, like simply looking at the profile name. Our investigation uncovered how major companies are now working together to make sure you never see a fake review again. When it comes to saving you money, the story is only on 11Alive News.
I've always really cared about what's happening here in Atlanta. This is home. I was born and raised right here in the city. Even as a 3rd grader, I'd watch the news and have my dad record me recapping the day's events. Now, as an 11Alive anchor, I carry that same passion to tell stories that have impact and to be active in the community. I need to know what matters most to people and even the challenges they may face. So what a privilege to be back home in Atlanta and join you every weekday with Faith Jesse right here on 11Alive News at 4.
Let's face it, the weather is always changing. We can't control it, but we can help you prepare for it.
Crazy weather can really mess up your plans, even put you at risk.
So trust our team
to give you everything you need to know when you need it most.
We care about getting the forecast right for you.
When severe weather threatens,
we have a high risk of heavy rain that could lead to flash flooding.
Stay safe, informed, and in control with the 11Alive storm trackers.
The city doesn't stop when you go to sleep.
That's why we're up early. Early.
Tracking breaking news,
traffic, and weather.
Preparing you before you get out of bed,
so you can start your day a step ahead.
When news is happening in the afternoon, you'll see it on 11Alive News now at 4. I'm Jonathan Martin.
And I'm Faith Jesse. We're both Atlanta natives, so we know the city like you do.
Most importantly, you'll know what to expect wherever you're headed with updates from Atlanta's traffic expert, Crash Clark.
I've got your alternates.
And get your first look at the forecast with meteorologist Melissa Noor.
Rain is moving into Atlanta right now.
Plus, we'll help you make smarter decisions that'll save you money.
When it's happening in the afternoon.
You'll see it on 11Alive News at 4.
So my story actually begins in Oakland, California. My mom and dad were blue-collar workers. As a kid, we never talked about college. So I joined the Army for more than 8 years, and that's how I was able to afford it. I got out, I joined the Oakland Police Department, and I was good at it, involved in undercover operations and making felony arrests. But I knew that there was something more, so I ended up transitioning into journalism, where this is where I am supposed to be, and I've been doing this for almost 30 years now.
Only on 11Alive News, defective fire hydrants. We found hundreds of...
February is American Heart Month, so this afternoon we are digging into viral videos claiming a unique tactic can prevent or treat a heart attack. Here's Ariane Detil to verify if this works.
Someone has a heart attack every 40 seconds in the U.S., according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. 2 viral TikTok videos claim that slapping the inside of a person's elbow could treat or prevent a heart attack.
By slapping the inner elbow of the left hand, you can stimulate the 3 acupressure points around the heart and lungs.
The videos claim this technique will prevent the accumulation of blood clots and improve blood circulation. Verify reader Gail asked us if there's any truth to these claims, so let's verify. Our sources include the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the American Heart Association, 2 cardiologists, and a doctor of preventive medicine. Here's what the cardiologists say.
There is no valid scientific evidence that supports that any kind of touching, tapping, squeezing, poking, of anything of your elbow or really of any body part at all can stop a heart attack in progress.
Because you're actually traumatizing the wall of the blood vessel by slapping your elbow.
And Dr. Coley says it's wasting precious time. A heart attack happens when part of the heart muscle doesn't get enough blood. And according to the CDC, the more time that passes without treatment to restore blood flow, the greater damage to the heart muscle. Dr. Donald Lloyd-Jones, chair of preventive medicine at Northwestern Medicine, confirmed this tactic doesn't prevent heart attacks either, adding that people should talk to their doctor about their risk for heart attack and the best ways to prevent it, not depend on information like this from the internet. So we can verify, no, slapping the inside of a person's elbow can't prevent or treat a heart attack. The American Heart Association says calling 911 is almost always the fastest way to get life-saving treatment if you or someone you know is experiencing a heart attack. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
So if you see something online that you would like us to verify, just send us an email. You can also text the word verify to the number on your screen, 404-885-7600. We are just 171 days away from the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris. And this afternoon, we are getting a first look at a new arena Team USA athletes will be competing in. This is video of the Adidas Arena. It is the only sports facility that's being built for the games. The arena includes 2 gymnasiums with 8,000 seats. They're expecting sold-out crowds there for gymnastics. It will also be hosting badminton and weightlifting. Once the games are over, it will then be open to the public. Well, speaking of the Olympics, this afternoon we know a big name is working to return to the Olympic Games. In an exclusive interview now with NBC News, 3-time Olympic gold medalist Gabby Douglas announced that she is coming back and planning to compete.
It would mean a lot. You know, it's definitely a lot of hard work that I've had to put into it, but it would mean a lot. I would just love to go back out there and represent USA, you know, just one more time. And just to have that feeling of being a part of something, being a part of team again would be amazing and a huge honor.
She will return to her first competition in 8 years on February 24th. The Winter Cup in Louisville, Kentucky is the first elite gymnastics meet of the year. Of course, you can watch it all right here and all the Olympic action on 11Alive starting July 26th. Well, next at 12:30, the parents of a child who tragically died during childbirth, a difficult birth last summer, are speaking out for the first time since the baby's death was ruled a homicide. We are live with the latest.
We found hundreds across Metro Atlanta broken or worse, running dry. From inspections issues to repair problems, our investigation uncovered several factors leading to faulty fire hydrants. And we explain how you and your family may unknowingly slow down firefighters by limiting access to hydrants. Scan the QR code right now to watch. When it comes to public safety and our emergency services, the story is only on 11Alive News. It's a wonderful feeling to be a journalist in my hometown. People that knew me when I was little are watching me, and so I want to make sure that I get stuff right. Good journalism is impactful, whether it is taking on something that needs to be changed or touching somebody. This is my city just as much as it is yours. So when I'm out, when I see people, it's, hey, how are you? It's what's going on in your world. Because even when I'm not at work, people still trust me.
Only on 11Alive News, we examined the 4 ways you and your family can identify whether a review is real or not and save you some money.
There is a lot of red flags that you should look for.
With tricks to identifying fake reviews, like simply looking at the profile name. Our investigation uncovered how major companies are now working together to make sure you never see a fake review again. When it comes to saving you money, the story is only on 11Alive News.
I've always really cared about what's happening here in Atlanta. This is home. I was born and raised right here in the city. Even as a 3rd grader, I'd watch the news and have my dad record me recapping the day's events. Now, as an 11Alive anchor, I carry that same passion to tell stories that have impact and to be active in the community. I need to know what matters most to people and even the challenges they may face. So what a privilege to be back home in Atlanta and join you every weekday with Faith Jesse right here on 11Alive News at 4.
Let's face it, the weather is always changing. We can't control it, but we can help you prepare for it.
Crazy weather can really mess up your plans, even put you at risk.
So trust our team
to give you everything you need to know when you need it most.
We care about getting the forecast right for you.
When severe weather threatens,
we have a high risk of heavy rain that could lead to flash flooding.
Stay safe, informed, and in control with the 11Alive Storm Trackers.
The city doesn't stop when you go to sleep.
That's why we're up early.
Early.
Tracking breaking news,
Traffic and weather.
Preparing you before you get out of bed.
so you can start your day a step ahead.
When news is happening in the afternoon, you'll see it on 11Alive News now at 4. I'm Jonathan Martin.
And I'm Faith Jesse. We're both Atlanta natives, so we know the city like you do.
Most importantly, you'll know what to expect. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. I'm Jonathan Martin. For the first time, we are hearing from a couple whose baby died during a difficult birth last summer. This is all coming less than 24 hours after the Clayton County medical examiner announced the manner of death for the baby was a homicide. 11Alive's Molly Oak live with the new developments this noon. Molly.
And this is the first time we've heard from the couple who filed that lawsuit claiming their baby was decapitated. But first, let's take you back a little bit. Yesterday, we were the first to tell you about the Clayton County medical examiner and that he determined the manner of death for the couple's baby is homicide. He added the cause of death was a fracture dislocation to the upper spine and spinal cord at the neck, and that a manner of death is considered a homicide when the death was caused by the actions of another person. Today, the couple, Jessica Ross and Travion Isaiah Taylor Sr., spoke for the first time nearly 7 months after Ross went to give birth at Southern Regional Medical Center in Riverdale. After complications, the lawsuit calls the doctor who performed the delivery negligent for not calling for proper emergency procedures in a timely manner. And lawyers say the doctor applied excessive force on the baby's head and neck. Today, the attorneys and the couple spoke, just asking for answers.
What happened? Why was there not an alert put out all throughout the hospital say we have a shoulder dystocia so that new eyes could come in and look? You know, why weren't the proper procedures done in terms of maneuvers and the like?
We just want justice for our son. They lied to us. They ain't let us touch him. We don't like it. We just want justice for our son.
Now, that man you just heard from, that is the baby's father, and that's all the couple said during the press conference, naturally overwhelmed by this entire situation. However, we were the only local news station to talk with the couple on camera after the press conference ended. You'll see that interview tonight on 11Alive News.
Molly Oak live for us this noon. Thank you. And if you would like to hear the full comments from the family, we have the entire news conference streaming right now on 11Alive.